Today we are going to view Parkdale Commons, which is a new subdivision in Lafayette, Colorado. It sits right on that border of Lafayette and Erie, and so it still kind of has that like small town feel to it. It's conveniently located between downtown Lafayette and also downtown Erie, both of which have an amazing restaurant scene and lots of things to do. Parkdale sits in Boulder County, so you will be zoned for the Boulder Valley School District, which is a very highly rated and desirable school district here in Colorado. And within Parkdale, you will see that they have plans for like 3 miles of trails that connect with some of the already existing trails that are in the area. And they also have plans for a pool, a clubhouse, even a school in the future, plus a bunch of little pocket parks if you have little kiddos to play at all throughout, conveniently kind of placed all throughout the neighborhood. One of the things to consider is that if you are new to the new home construction process, you'll want to keep in mind that at times, depending on the builder and even depending on the subdivision that you build in, you will see a base price, but once you choose your lot and your finishes and things like that, your price of your home is going to start to creep up pretty quickly. One of the other things that is really wonderful about building in a new home is that builders are required to provide you a 1-year home warranty on your new construction home. So it's really a great idea to move into your home and of course have the inspection before you close, but also have another one around that like 11-month time frame, so that when your 1-year home warranty is up or due, you'll have a really good punch list to give to the builder of things that you really are wanting to have fixed in your home. And you might be asking yourself too, is it really a requirement to have a realtor join you through this new home construction process? And I would say yes. I'm not saying that only because I am a realtor, but it's really important to consider the fact that when you go into a sales office, no matter what builder you build with, the salesperson represents the builder and only the builder. And so it is impossible, no matter how great or wonderful that person is, they can only have the best interest of one party in place. And of course, that is going to be the builder. You will also want to consider that although in Colorado, the contract to buy and sell heavily favors the buyer, it's actually sort of opposite within new construction. The new construction contracts that you'll be signing they heavily favor the builder. They don't favor the buyer as much as you would see in a resale contract. So that's something to really consider. You'll also want to hire a realtor that has been through the process already, just because those contracts are so different. And then another thing that you'll want to have in your back pocket is a realtor that is really going to go to bat with you if things were to come up for those inspection items. Even though it's a brand new home, things happen. And you'll want somebody that is knowledgeable about the process of building. You'll want somebody that's going to go to bat with you once that 1-year home warranty is up. And you are also going to want somebody that can really negotiate. Right now, builders have some amazing incentives, and they don't tend to advertise them to the general public as much as they do to realtors. And so there are some really great incentives for interest rate. There's some really great incentives for like free or included upgrades. And so having a realtor that has their finger on the pulse is incredibly important. So within Parkdale, there are 3 builders that are very common and build a lot in northern Colorado, and that is Richmond, Century, and Lennar. Lennar is the only one of those 3 that has plans for paired homes, so like a townhome duplex style house. And they also have single family homes, and then Richmond and Century are only planning on building single family homes here at Parkdale. One of the things that you'll notice if you come to visit Parkdale is that some of the lots and even some of the builders have better locations within Parkdale than the others. The first builder I wanted to discuss is Lennar. Lennar is the only builder that has plans to do paired homes at the Parkdale Commons. They have 3 collections. So the first is those paired homes. It's sort of duplex style attached. And then you also have the Monarch collection and the Pioneer collection. There aren't a whole lot of differences between the latter 2 collections. They're all single family homes. However, the Pioneer collection has electric stove. They have like less finishes like casing of windows throughout, but they still have like that luxury vinyl. They still have quartz countertops. So it really is a great product. You aren't really getting slammed on like subpar product within Lennar. And then Monarch, you'll have the option to do like gas stoves, higher end appliances, and then a few other things that the builder kind of has some incentives on to go that route with that higher end product. First, let's discuss Lennar's paired home collection. So the paired homes will take up about half, maybe a little bit less than half of the current lots that they've got. And you'll see that all of their floor plans are 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and the layouts vary from floor plan to floor plan. The only huge difference is that some of the plans have lofts, which is great if you're really looking for that extra living space or a dedicated office space or play space. The exterior of these homes is something that might be a little bit of a drawback for some people. You'll have sort of a shared driveway leading up to your garage, and then you'll also have not a whole lot of outdoor living space. However, this is very common when you are looking at a paired home, and that really might appeal to you. Next, let's discuss their single family option. So within the single family collection, Lennar has the Pioneer collection and the Monarch collection. And they have some pretty similar finishes. They have pretty high-end carpet, higher end luxury vinyl flooring, and quartz countertops in both collections. But what you'll find is bigger homes in the Monarch collection, and a little bit of differences within. So like casing of windows, things like that. But one of the biggest things that you'll see as far as differences go is that with the Pioneer collection, you're gonna have all electric appliances, electric stove. And then in the Monarch collection, you are going to have, gas stove, options too. A little bit higher end appliances as well in that Monarch collection. And then with all of these homes, you really are sort of pigeonholed a little bit into finishes. So they all have pretty higher end carpet, some higher end flooring, and those quartz countertops, but you only have the option between 3 different packages. So it sort of goes on like a white color scheme, a little bit of a gray, and a little bit of a darker gray, black almost color scheme. And so if you fall in love with like a particular cabinet, you really are going to look at only one option for everything. So you're gonna, I love these white cabinets, but that means I have to have these floorings and this carpet and this countertop. And so there really isn't a leeway to really make the home yours as you might see with the other builders. And then if they've already broken ground and begun the building process on a lot, you cannot change whatever design package or color scheme was picked. The only way you can pick within those three options is to purchase the home prior to the building starting. So that means that you're picking a certain lot with a certain house on it. But it's really, a lot of them are just really pre-selected. And so that is one of the drawbacks that you'll see with Lennar. The other thing that you'll notice when you go to visit is that Lennar is building in what I would say is not the most favorable part of Parkdale. They're a little bit close to the wastewater treatment center that's right there, and there's a storage facility that sort of backs up to some of the lots that they'll be building on. And so Lennar is not my most favorite location, but like I said, the really big pro or advantage of going with Lennar is that what you see is what you get. You are not going to see one price and then go in and talk with a salesperson and be like $100,000 over that. So there's pros and there's cons. And so let's discuss the next builder. Next, let's talk about Richmond. Richmond, as far as location goes, is probably one of my most favorite locations. And that is because the pool that is planned is going to be right smack dab in the middle of where Richmond is going to be building at Parkdale. And Richmond has two collections at Parkdale. They have a Seasons collection, and then they have their more traditional collection of homes. So Richmond has 12 plans total between the two collections, and one of the biggest differences is that the Seasons collection starts at a lower price point. They have no basements whatsoever when you look at that collection. The more traditional collection has basements, and they actually have the option to finish those basements as well throughout the building process. The Seasons collection, another big difference is that you cannot pick finishes whatsoever within the Seasons collection. So once you fall in love with a lot, you are also going to have to fall in love with whatever finishes were picked at upon the release of that home. And then as far as the more traditional collection goes with Richmond, you'll see that not only do they have the basement options, they have bigger floor plans, and they have the option to pick your finishes within certain criteria and certain packages, but you have to pick those along with picking the lot. So once a home has been announced, like a certain plan has been announced to be built upon a certain lot, you're kind of locked in with whatever finishes were picked. However, in that traditional collection, you have some really great options for design and to make it yours and to make it look really high end if that's what you're going for. They have some of those higher end finishes that you'll see throughout the builders, but they also have options to do the custom look of a vent hood in the kitchen, which is very popular right now. So in that sense, Richmond has what I would call a little bit more of a higher end look within Parkdale out of the three options. So now that we've discussed a little bit about the differences between Richmond's Seasons collection and their more traditional collection, let's talk about the similarities. So on top of the fact that they do have a little bit of the higher end look to them or finishes out of the builders, they also have gas appliances no matter what collection you choose from. So you will have that, which is really something that people look for in a home. And then they also both have the option for ranch style homes and 2-story. So there are a lot of similarities, and you'll just have to go with whatever works best for you and whatever season of life that you are in. Finally, let's talk about Century. Century is solely building single family homes, and they are going to be splitting their lots between two collections as well. The first is called the Florette, and the second is called the Prestige. The Florette comes with a little bit smaller lots, whereas the Prestige is built upon some more desirable and larger lots within the neighborhood. But as far as floor plans, they all have the options for basements. They all have pretty similar design elements throughout. You can really play around with like finishes and layouts and designs, no matter what collection you choose when you go with Century. One of the really great things about Century is that they have a couple of plans out of the 10 that they're building at Parkdale that have that split third car garage that's like a side turn. And so that is super highly desirable in Colorado for, you know, like working on your car, or if you want to build like an outdoor gym, or just to store your like outdoor toys like bikes and skis and snowboards. So they are the only builder that you'll find like that side turn garage, which is lovely. Century does have the option to install like electric charging for your cars in the garages, and also prepare your home for solar if that's important to you. So just to recap about Parkdale in general, there are so many options to choose from, and you, depending on your season of life, are going to be attracted to maybe one builder over the other. But there are so many different plans and options to choose from in a variety of price ranges. So this neighborhood in particular really appeals to a wide variety of people. Finally, why should you consider hiring me, Danielle Harvey? Well, I am a part of the Sartell Bliss team here at Coldwell Banker, and we have been around and serving people along the Front Range for a combined 25 years. So we've got tons of experience right here in Colorado, but you also will get a personal touch with me. I have really recently been through the new build process myself personally, and have been through the new build process professionally. And so having somebody that can advocate for you is incredibly important. I hope that you'll reach out today. I would love to talk with you about Parkdale or any other neighborhoods that are being built here in Erie or Lafayette, and really hold your hand through the process. My phone number is on the screen. Reach out today. I'd love to show you around.